I'm Sergeant First Class, retired Randy Nantz, and I served in the United States Army as a Green Beret. Initially as an infantry soldier, and then later as a Green Beret. And my story for the service really starts September 11th.
Yeah. This just in, you were looking at some obviously very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning to explain.
As we come on now, we have serious news of a major, very tragic story in the United States. Incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center.
So I saw that as, and really as my opportunity to finally step up and do something in society other than myself, for myself. I knew that I wanted to do more, and I just, honestly, I wanted to be with the best. So at this time, my course of action was, I saw some of these SF guys in the heat of battle, when I saw other men crying like babies, and nothing against them. Nobody knows how you're going to react till you're in that moment, but I saw these guys taking it to the enemy, at the moment it was most crucial. But then basically I went to selection as soon as I got back to go in to become a Green Beret. And, it came to, the date was December 22nd of 2006. So, unfortunately for us, we didn't even, we barely got into the neighborhood and we drove in front of one of these things, unbeknownst. And so, mine was an EFP, it was an explosively formed projectile, and basically in engineering terms, that means it's a shape charge. So instead of the force dissipating in a 360-degree bubble when it blows up, it's like a cannon. It all is in one direction. So for me, fortunately, I was very lucky that it grazed me when it went by. It happened so fast. In fact, I didn't even know the thing had hit me until later. Now, I was sitting there and I was confused because now, they gave me a severe concussion from the force of the blast. Instantly, then I also hear on the radio the rest of my team calling out IED drill. So then I was like, oh, was that us? So then I start to figure it out. And about this time, I breathed in something horrible. It was horrific. And then instantly, right after that, I was fully involved. The flames were up to here. My legs were on fire. Luckily for me, one of my medics opened the door at that specific time too, and was, basically telling me to get out, stop, drop, and roll, which I will tell you, that's the only thing I was thinking in my mind. Once I was on fire, I tried to put myself out, even though I know you can't. It was just the adrenaline. It burned my hands. And then all I was thinking was stop, drop, and roll, probably from kindergarten, you know what I mean? My time in the hospital was very difficult because there was a lot of pain involved. But, it became a learning process through the whole thing. It took me the next 2 or 3 years really to get over that initial injury. And in some, I'm still doing to this day, 15 years later or so. But what I learned through it was, because in the beginning I was mad, I was really mad. And, so everything just bothered me, and then the next, as it started to really sink in that this was a life-changing event and nothing was ever going to be the same afterwards as it was before. And then it brought me to a point in life, that I was just seeking out things that are going to make me a better human, treat people better, be nicer, be less, everything. And I found that just being out in nature as a whole was very peaceful. And I found that it just brought a level of peace, that's hard to describe. And you don't get in the middle of all that, in the TVs, in the phones, in the emails, in the kids, in your job. We are constantly on the go, and we never stop to smell the roses. I remember when they had the grand opening for Heroes Ranch. I went and filled out the application online, and then Derek said, all right, we're going to set up a hunt. And, so we went out there with 3 other guys, this past weekend, 1 girl and 3 or 4 of us guys. And just, to be able to, whether we were sitting out at the campfire or if we were sitting around the table, you know, before and after the hunts, just sharing the camaraderie. Again, as veterans all do, we start talking about different techniques or things we use that work for whatever it is, whether it's anger or tweaking with your prosthetic. You know, there are just all kinds of little things that come up. And we've all used some sort of little technique that helps us get successfully through that. And we share those things together, you know. And then just to be able to be out in the middle of nowhere all together, you know, we got to go out and hunt each morning, and in the afternoon, we got to do a little fishing. We got to do some skeet shooting. All that is just, you know, puts you at a level of peace. And when you leave out of there, you know, it's always good to come back home. But the reality is you feel that same way for leaving the ranch, man. It was such a good time, you know, that we all shared together. Everyone got to harvest an animal, and a couple of incredible stories that came out of that, you know. And seeing the female, the girl that came with us, shoot her first animal. You cannot purchase that with money. You know, that level of peace, that kind of camaraderie, that wholesomeness, you know, that pureness, you can't buy that with money. So when we arrive at the Heroes Ranch, first thing you're going to notice is it's you're out in the middle of nowhere, but that's a good thing. And then the facilities that Heroes Ranch has put in there are first class, man. It's all really nice. You know, the first time I went out there with the guys and we stayed in one of the cabins, I'm like, look, man, I hope y'all need to take this in, because most leases and most hunting places you're going to go to, you're not going to stay in a cabin like this. And in fact, it's such a difference. You couldn't call this a cabin and call what you would stay in some of those a cabin too. It just wouldn't be. It'd be a trailer or something. I've even stayed in a tent, no joke. But, you know, then you take that a step further. Everything's just extremely nice there for you, for your use. Then the staff there, man, just really down-to-earth, salt people, just really good people that want to do this for you just out of the kindness of their heart. You know, not only did they cook the meals for us, which were phenomenal, by the way. I mean, you know, I'm not sure if Susan went to chef school, but she's a pretty dang good cook, and I would call her a chef. All that is very first class, top notch. One of the better facilities I've been to, and again, I've been hunting my whole life, so it's definitely a cut above what you would normally see, as in just a normal lease or hunting operation going on. And, you know, for any veterans, I would say, thinking about applying, just do it. You know what I mean? Really, you don't want to miss this opportunity. You know, they're going to take you out on one of the best hunts you're probably ever going to be on. If you're a veteran and you're looking for that, you know, you're looking to get something out and do something out in the outdoors, if you want to go hunting or fishing, you know, and you want to spend some time with some other veterans out in the middle of nowhere, this is the place to be. There's no better place that I've been to than this one right here. And I can say that with total confidence. To take that a step farther, you know, if there's somebody that's looking and thinking they want to sponsor something, you know, and I know how it is, putting your hard-earned money, no matter if you have a bunch or a little, to an organization that you don't really know or understand what the whole mission is, it's tough to do. You know what I mean? Because it's your hard-earned money. And as we all know, once you give it to someone, then it's gone. So, you know, in my opinion, you know, you couldn't put your money in a better place to help better enrich someone's life that may be going through some tough times or life-changing events. You can, you know, rest assured with total confidence, right? So it's going to go into what you expect it to. And that is all you could ask for a nonprofit organization, is that when you trust them with your donation, no matter what size, that they're going to do with it what they tell you they're going to do with it, and they're going to use the money for what you gave it to them for. That is what Heroes Ranch provides.